Good morning, Culers. It is time to wake up and Barca. Live Barcelona news coming at you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, we took a little break, gave myself a little bit of breather. I had a lot going on, so I took a little break, but we're back. We are back on our regular schedule. It's Friday. It's 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time-ish, which means it is time to wake up and Barca. Like I said, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Frenkie De Jong rumors to Manchester United. I don't want it, folks. I'll tell you right now, I don't want it, okay? I can tell you that. Outside of that, we'll be talking about Coutinho to Barcelona. We'll be talking about the upcoming match against Getafe. We've got second place if we get 1 point, but Getafe also need a point to secure their spot outside of the relegation zone. So both teams with something to play for. We'll talk about the transfer rumors. We'll talk about a lineup for that match on Sunday and whatever else comes up conversationally. All right, that's what we do here on Wake Up in Barca. We have a little bit of caffeine. We have some good conversation with our fellow culés. We start our day in a nice positive way, catching up on the Barcelona news. So that's what we're doing today. If you are just finding us for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation here on Wake Up in Barca. And to everybody else, good morning to you. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Plenty of news to get to, folks. We want to start out with shouting out a player that I really enjoyed watching throughout his career. Not so much at Barcelona. But we got to give a proper send-off to Philippe Coutinho, officially signed for Aston Villa. Barcelona get about 20 million euros for him. This is a guy with tremendous talent, tremendous ability, so much creativity, so much fun to watch when he's on the ball. And that right foot curler, that classic Coutinho to the far post. Love seeing it. However, Barcelona, damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Damn it. Reset the counter, stash mods. Always restarting the intro. There's a button right here for me to turn it off, and all I got to do is turn it off, but I never do. I always forget. I don't understand why. More caffeine, please. Anyway, I was just trying to say, Philippe Coutinho, I appreciate you. I'm sorry that Barcelona was never willing to bend and form around what would be best for you as a number 10. That's just not what we do. You can ask any major star who's come through Barcelona in the past that didn't fit the system. You were out. Unfortunately, we paid a ridiculous sum, a huge transfer fee. What was it, 140 million euros? Something like that. Then we loaned him out to Bayern Munich. He helped smoke us in that 8-2 victory. Embarrassing. Then he comes back to us. We loan him out to Villa. He performs well, and now we sell him for 20 million euros, a 120 million euro loss on that deal. And like I said, never got the best out of him. So it will go down in history as one of the worst transfer deals Barcelona has ever made. With that said, I still love and appreciate Coutinho. I like watching him play. And the fact that he's going to be playing for Steven Gerrard, it's a good story for Philippe. So I'm glad he gets to go back to Premier League. I'm glad he gets to play for a former teammate in Gerrard. And I certainly wish Coutinho all the best. Good luck to you, good sir. That's where I'll pause. We'll get caught up on the chat. Up next, we are going to talk about Frenkie De Jong. And we are going to talk about some Lewandowski rumors. And then we will get into Barcelona versus Getafe match preview. That is all coming up today on Wake Up in Barca. Let's see who we got in the chat here with us. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, get caught up on some things. Prashanth, good morning to you, sir. Greg, how we doing? Chris E is with us. Hello. Only Juan, what's up, dude? Oh, that reminds me, Nightbot, I need to turn off one of your commands. Hang on 1 second. Turn this timer off. because we're not doing a live match, so spoilers aren't a thing. Biggity boom, biggity bow. Back to the chat. Afif, how we doing, sir? Only Juan says, who all do you think we're getting next season? We'll get into that. Lewandowski is looking likely, but I don't know if we're going to make the kind of signings that people are wanting, I'll say. I know Kessié for free, Christensen for free, possibility of Azpilicueta. Lewandowski might be the summer signing. That's our big blockbuster move. But we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. Chanel, good morning. Afif, good morning. Winston, hello, excuse me. Wants Frenkie De Jong to stay. I agree, 100%. Kudus, welcome, sir. Of course, you could guess. You got to reset the counter for me. I'm shooting like maybe 3% success rate on not restarting my intro this past couple months, but it is what it is. Chris has just got back from picking up his dog from the groomers. Nice, good to get the puppy some fresh hairdo, you know, nice and fresh. Get him cleaned up and whatnot. I don't know what words I'm saying. I'm not even saying words right now. Let's have some more caffeine. It's gonna be a long day for me, folks. I'm just gonna be very real with you. We're coming back from a break, but we'll shake it off. We'll get into the groove. We'll get there. Do I need to start doing hair commercials or what? Blue Steel, here we go. I think that's what's coming up next on the Undefeated channel. Undefeated modeling? No, not really. Not really, folks. That won't be happening. Not gonna happen. Kudus says, sounds like you're getting too close to Cincy sports now. You're killing me, bro. Tell you what, FC Cincinnati is actually having a decent season. Been going to those matches, hanging out in the Bailey. It's a good time. Eventually, maybe I'll start live streaming some of that as well, but we'll see. San Curioso says, Frenkie De Jong leaving. I have no problem with that. You are one of very few, my friend. Most Culers are freaking out at the possibility of Frenkie De Jong leaving. But if we take a look at a tweet from Rashad Rahman, a trusted resource, who's actually quoting Sam Marsden here, who, again, I hate to even bring it up, but sometime in the last 6 months, I had Sam Marsden on for an interview. It wasn't live. It was recorded, and I did not capture any of his audio. Again, maybe sometime, maybe on a year recap, which is coming up here once the season ends. Maybe on that year recap, I'll play the video and just kind of talk over what was said. It'll be completely irrelevant at this point, but whatever. I digress. Sam Marston says, people close to Frenkie De Jong, even after today's stories, insist that it is still much more likely that the player stays. It is the club who needs the money before June 30th, which is probably why we'll see such stories ramp up. That's coming from Sam Marston's podcast, Siempre Pod. It's a good podcast. Check it out if you have the opportunity. But I'm with Sam on this one. If Umtiti can refuse to leave, then Frenkie De Jong can refuse to leave. You know what I'm saying? Just say no, Frenkie. That's all you got to do. Manchester United right now, I know Ten Hag is there. I know he's your guy, former manager from Ajax. At the same time, Man United are a couple of years away from being Champions League contenders, let alone title contenders. So why go and be a part of that project when you have everything right here? I know the powers that be might be trying to move things around, might be trying to influence your mindset, Frenkie. But stay strong. We know that this is the club of your dreams. We know that since you were a young man, you've wanted to play for Barcelona. You've wanted to wear the Blaugrana and play at the Camp Nou. Have that be your home. We know that. I know it. We all know it. I love and appreciate the attitude that Frenkie De Jong brings. I appreciate his creativity. The conflict comes because he likes to dribble through the midfield. He likes to turn, beat his defender with a little dip of the shoulder, a little step over, a little dummy, and onward. Xavi likes the passing. So there's a conflict there. I get it. He's been under a lot of criticism this year. People saying that he can't play that pivot role that Sergio Busquets plays. Tell you what, folks, there's not a player on earth that can play that role like Sergio Busquets plays it, okay? Anytime that Sergio Busquets is not on the pitch, Barcelona are out of sorts. They don't have the same fluidity. They don't have the same sort of spacing. So we're playing a formation with tactics that requires such specificity in that pivot role that there's only one man that can do it. If Frenkie De Jong can't fill that role, you tell me who can. Someone in the chat's going to say Kessio. Get real. I said Kessio. Kessier. Someone in the chat is going to say Kessier. Get real. Not happening. Whatever move we make, if we sell Frenkie De Jong, whatever move we make to bring somebody in, it will be a lesser version of a Frenkie De Jong. There is not an available midfielder that will come anywhere near the talents, the abilities of Frenkie De Jong. And he's still only 24 years old as of yesterday. Happy birthday, Frankie. Happy belated. Just saying. Folks in the chat saying that it's Jandro Orellana. If that were the case, he would have been called up sometime this year. All right? Every year, there's going to be rumors of the Barca B players breaking through. We were spoiled with Gavi, Nico, who's kind of cold, and even Pedri, who was signed for Barca B but coming back. We have Pablo Torres coming in, but he's very much an attacking midfielder. So I'm just saying, listen, it's not the end of the world if Frenkie leaves, but it is 100%. Let me say that again. 100% a mistake if we let him go. We want you to stay, Frenkie. Stay here. We love you. Just pull an Umtiti and just say no. That's all I'm saying. I'll turn back to the chat, get your thoughts on the Frenkie De Jong transfer saga before we move on to the next news. We'll talk a little bit about Lewandowski. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming match against Getafe, which again is 1:30 this Sunday. We'll be live for a watch along. They changed the time, thankfully. It was going to be 12:30. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, excuse me. But 1:30 I can do. I can do that. Let's see here. Ray the Blessed, good morning to you, sir. Kimmy, hello. Says, if Barca sells De Jong, then they should use that money to reinforce the defense. Here's the thing, we might have to use that money just to pay off debt, but I'm not sure. Thoughts on Koulibaly rumors? Potentially, if we can get him for like 25, 30 million euros, something like that. I think he's got a year left on his contract, but he's 31 years old. So I don't want to invest too much in an aging defender. Andrese says, don't have a problem either with Frenkie leaving. Thinks he doesn't help out our defense. Don't have a problem with Frenkie leaving. Thinks he doesn't help out our defense that much, especially in big games. I'd have to disagree with you, my man. I'd have to disagree with you. I think he's still kind of settling into the Barcelona style. Everyone's got to remember, this is Xavi's first year. We've got a nice long off season now where, yes, people get a break, but then when they come back, we've got a full training camp pre-season for Xavi to work with these players to implement his strategy, to get in their minds so that the tactics come out and are expressed on the pitch. I'm just saying, give it time. That's all. Give it time. You can sell Frenkie De Jong next year. I get people are worried about his value going down, but I'm not. I'm not concerned at all. Because it's not a question of ability. It's not a question of talent. It's a question of system. So if Frankie's not going to fit this system, his value is not going to go down because his ability is still there. Chanel says, what about Bernardo Silva as a replacement if Frenkie ends up leaving? I don't understand. I'll say this. If we're looking for a more attacking option, Bernardo Silva makes sense. But if we're doing a like-for-like swap, if we sell Frenkie and buy Bernardo, I don't understand. Financially, it'll be about a wash. So I don't understand. Why would you not go for Frenkie, who has more defensive abilities, as opposed to Bernardo Silva, who is very much one-sided? Again, think about Pedri, who's much more attacking. Gavi, who's, yes, he's box-to-box, but his impact is on the offensive side of the ball. Frenkie is box-to-box. Nico is box-to-box. Busquets is very much on the defensive side of the ball, despite his massive 2 goals this season. We have Pablo Torre coming in, who's very much attacking. Kessié, who's coming in, who's on the defensive side. But so far, we've got Nico and Frenkie, who are our box-to-box players. If Silva comes in, that's not necessarily box-to-box. He's more on the attacking side. So again, I just want Frenkie to stay. I don't understand what the big deal is. If we're not in a situation where, we can't register a player unless we sell somebody. And again, we're giving Sergio Roberto a contract extension. We're looking to bring in Azpilicueta, Christensen, Kessié, and some others. None of those players are going to have the impact that Frenkie De Jong can have. None of them. So, I'm just saying. There's one player that I didn't list there that I think could have that impact. And if we take a look at the latest rumors from Sky Sports, they're saying that Robert Lewandowski has told Bayern that he will not extend his contract. He's got 1 more year left, and if he's saying now that he's not going to extend it, then that might trigger Bayern to say, well, we can either sell him now with a year left on his contract and get something out of it, or we let him go for free, a la Barcelona and Lionel Messi, at the end of next season. So Barcelona looking to jump on the opportunity, and Lewandowski apparently is interested. He'd like to come to Barcelona, and we'd love to have him. He's how old now? Let's look at his stats real quick. Lewandowski stats. Check him out. Check out the stats. 33 matches played, 34 goals, only 3 assists, pretty low. But he's 33 years old, folks. That's the thing. 33 years old. So he's... Listen, 33 is the new 28, as far as I'm concerned. We've seen it in a number of sports now. Look at Tom Brady, all right? Look what people like Andrea Pirlo have done, all right? There's players that have played well into their mid-30s. I think Lewandowski has a couple of years left. So if we can sneak in there and get him, I would say for 30 million euros or less. That's what I would go for. 30 million euros or less, and I would jump on this Lewandowski deal. Outside of that, I still think Memphis Depay stays. I think Aubameyang stays. And then if Lewandowski is our third striking option, well, he would be the starter, the third out of whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. If we have Lewandowski starting, Aubameyang playing behind him and probably starting in Copa del Rey, we have Memphis Depay rotating on the left side with Ansu and a third option as a striker / false 9. On the right-hand side, we would have Torres and either Dembele or Rafinha or whoever comes in to play on that right-hand side. That would give us 2 options across a front 3 that I would be comfortable with. Left-hand side, Ansu and Memphis. Striker, Lewandowski and Aubameyang. Right-hand side, Ferran Torres and whoever else it ends up being. I think that's a good 6. And then you secure the signature of Luke de Goat. You throw him on late in the match whenever you need it. Come on. Let's go. That's a good team, folks. I'm just saying, that's a good team. You tell me where the hole is in that one. Greg says, not really keen on signing another 30-plus-year-old striker. He is a world-class striker, though. Yeah, he is. I'm not saying he's the long-term solution, but with all these youngsters around him, with all the players that we have under 25, Pedri, Gavi, Frenkie De Jong, Araujo, Serginho Dest, Eric Garcia, Ferran, Ansu, Pablo, what's his name? Pablo Torre coming in. Okay? So, Torres, excuse me. I think I've been saying Torre this whole time. It's Torres. We've got 9, 10 players around him that are very young. So, while they're developing, while they need like a year or two to get into that Champions League contention, give him a crafty veteran striker. I don't mind that at all. Don't mind it one bit. Felipe, good morning to you, sir. Coffee, good morning to you, sir. Happy to see you. Visca Barca, hello, hello. Who else we got in the chat? We got some folks just joining us. Good morning to you. Again, if this is your first time finding us, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation with Culers from around the world. Sandesh says Lewandowski is forcing his exit to get a better chance to win Ballon d'Or. I agree, and I also agree that if he was playing for Barcelona or Real Madrid in the last few seasons, he would have gotten one. What do I think about the 20 million for Coutinho? We opened up with that. It hurts my heart a little bit to see him go, but it's best for him. It's best for the club. One of the worst transfer deals ever in terms of what we paid and what we sold for, but it is what it is. Absolutely. By the way, let's make sure that we are hitting that like button as well. That really does help out with the algorithm. So whether you've been watching since day one or you're just finding us now, if you're enjoying the content, I do appreciate if you take a moment, hit that like button. We got 25 people in the chat. Let's see if we can get 25 likes. That'd be great. That'd be a good start to the day. Speaking of start, folks, let's turn the page and talk about Barcelona versus Getafe. This is going to be 1:30 p.m. kickoff this Sunday. We'll be live about 30 minutes before that, so convert it for your time zone. That's 1:30 Eastern Daylight Time. If we take a look at the La Liga table, Barcelona sitting in second comfortably, 2 matches left, so a point against Getafe mathematically secures second place. We'll be good to go. A little extra change for Barcelona also qualifies us for Supercopa coming up. But if we scroll down to the bottom, Getafe currently in 15th, but if you take a look at the points, they're not safe yet. Mallorca on 33 could get up to 39 points, which means if Getafe lose here and lose their last match against Elche, they could potentially get relegated. Because, again, if we scroll down to the bottom, Mallorca would have to win 2, Getafe would have to lose 2, but it could happen. So Getafe have the relegation point, they need a point to avoid relegation, and Barcelona need a point to secure second place. So both teams with something to play for. Again, kickoff 1:30. We'll be live about 30 minutes before that. We'll take a look now at what we have for the squads going into it. First, who's unavailable? Nico, Pedri, Dest, Piqué, and Sergio Roberto, all out for the rest of the season, injured. Jordi Alba and Frenkie suspended for this one. So it's not going to help those Frenkie De Jong rumors with him being out for this match, but it has nothing to do with it. Yellow card accumulation for both, so they'll be unavailable. If we take a look at a potential starting 11, I think we got Ter Stegen between the posts with Jordi Alba out and nobody else available at left back. I think we're going to see Lenglet out there at left back next to Eric Garcia, partnered with Araujo and Dani Alves at that right back position. Now, what I imagine will happen is when Barcelona get the ball and we push forward, Lenglet, Garcia, and Araujo will become a back 3, and then we'll spread out a bit more. When we get up to the midfield, I got a little surprise in there. Sergi Busquets is back from suspension, so he's available. Gavi, of course, is going to be on the pitch. And then I'm giving Ricky Puig the start. Now that we're a point away from second place, he underperformed coming off the bench last time, but I don't think Xavi is going to go back to that 3-4-3 or that 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, formation that we saw in the first half of last weekend's match. I don't think we're going to see that again. The fluidity wasn't there. The chemistry wasn't there. So I don't think Xavi's going to go to that. I think Xavi's going to stick with a 4-3-3, which means we're going to see Ricky Puig get his first start in I don't know how long. Up top, I think you got to start Memphis. He's scoring goals. He's on a hot streak now. People are questioning whether or not he's going to stick around for next season. I say yes. if we got an offer of 30 million or more and we could have another attacking option, like if we sell Memphis and use that money to buy Lewandowski, I would understand that. At the same time, I hope we keep him. 12 goals this season, had a lengthy injury, so could have been more, had nobody playing around him for the first quarter of the season. So again, could have had more goals, some of that not his fault. With that said, Aubameyang will be playing the number 9, Dembele, on that right-hand side. I'm seeing in the chat that Eric is injured, and now that I'm seeing in the chat, I think I am remembering, he had like surgery on his hand or something like that, right? Is he officially confirmed out? He might be out. If that is the case, if he's unavailable, like what I'm hearing from the chat, which I think he is, well, let's pause and let's pull that up real quick. How about that? How about that? Let's go here. We'll go to the Twitter. We'll go home. We'll go Eric Garcia. See what we get here. Ladies, Eric Garcia has undergone successful operation on his right thumb. The operation was carried out by Dr. Javier Mir under the supervision of the club's medical services. The player is out and his recovery will determine his availability. This was just 2 hours ago. Missed that news. Okay, back it up, revamp. Eric Garcia is unavailable. Jump here. So we'll just tuck him away there. Eric Garcia is unavailable. So that means it could end up being... Oh, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Danny's going to end up playing on the left. Mingueza will come and play on the right. It's either that or if Balde is available, then Mingueza stays here. Danny goes right. Balde goes left. That's another possibility. I would actually like to see this. I would rather see this lineup than go with Mingueza sliding in there. It's also a possibility Adama could get a start today, now that I'm sitting here and questioning it. But with Eric Garcia out, and that news is just breaking as of a couple hours ago. I know he had surgery on his hand. We're probably looking at something more like this. Balde, Langley, Araujo, Danny, Gavi, Ricky Puig playing in front of Capitan Sergio Busquets, and then Memphis, Aubameyang, and Dembele up top. That is what I'm thinking, folks. In terms of predictions, again, kickoff 1:30. Getafe fighting relegation. Barcelona looking to secure second place. Getafe do give us fits sometimes. What was our last result? I feel like we may have lost or drawn to Getafe. Barcelona, Getafe results. We played them all the way back in August. Wow. Beat them 2-1. The former Barca man, Sandro Ramirez, scored against us. Sergio Roberto, Memphis Depay getting what ended up being a match winner in the first half. 67% possession. Only 3 shots on target. Yuck. 3 offsides, 3 corners. So not the best performance from Barcelona, but we got the win. That was at home back in August. So we'll try to do it again away from home this time. I'm going to say 3-1 Barcelona this time. Goals coming from Memphis, Aubameyang, and again, Ansu Fati off the bench. 3-1 to the Barcelona. That's what I'm thinking for this upcoming match. Again, kickoff 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Sunday. We'll be live at 1, 30 minutes before that. Convert that for your time zone. I know we got Culers watching from all over the world. That is when we will be live again. Come back and hang out with us, my friends. That's going to do it for today. I appreciate you all coming in and hanging out with me, starting your day the Barcelona way, as they say. How many rhymes can I get in a row there? Anyway, if I missed you in the chat, I apologize. I'll definitely catch you next time. It's good to see everybody. Kudos, I appreciate you coming and moderating these wild animals for today's show. Again, Wake Up in Barca every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, right here on the Undefeated channel, where we have a little caffeine, we have some good conversation, we catch up on the news coming out of the Camp Nou, and we start our day the Barcelona way. I'll see you Sunday for the match against Getafe. Until then, my friends, I want you to go out there and do lots of good things, spread the positivity, high fives, and hugs for anybody who wants them, and I will see you Sunday. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Love y'all. Mwah.